Hello and welcome to PM Personality Profile. My name is Nana Ansakwao, the fourth. And every now and then you get to interview someone that's not easy. Someone that's difficult to interview. Why? Because the person I'm going to talk to, folks, you know him more than I do. You've worked with him, you are closer to him more than I do. So then I tend to ask, what is it that I am going to ask him that you don't already know? However, I have to make this show entertaining and informative. I am talking to the king of theater, the loud mouth of South Centreso, Uncle Ebo White. Now, this is one man that really impresses me. I look up to him. I go to him every now and then and ask him, are my shows going right? Did I go wrong here? Did I go right here? So who am I to even sit and now question him? Where were you born? Everybody knows. Where's your mother? Everybody knows. Yet, we have to have a good show. And that, I definitely promise you. When I come back, I am talking to Uncle Ebo White, the loudmouth of South Centreso. Stay tuned. Well, hello, and finally I am sat here. Now, this is one of the, as I said in my intro, one of the most difficult interviews I have to do, because I am going to interview somebody whom you know more than I do. Somebody says, how can you more than the mourner? And so what
how can you more than the mourner?
You know, how can you more than the mourner? And that's what I'm here to do. It's a tricky one. However, I have to do the interview, and it will go on. So pardon me if I ask things that you already know. Forgive me, but the interview has to go. Folks, I am talking to Uncle Ebo White, the loud mouth from South Centreso. You cannot miss him, unless you haven't been in Accra, but he has done wonderful things. And he's a storyteller, and I'm a storyteller, and I look up to him, and I listen to him twice a week, and I'm wondering, how does he come up with two very important stories every week? Uncle Ebo, I'm very privileged for your time. Sat here in your rehearsal studio.
That's right.
But Uncle Ebo, Tuesday and Thursday.
Mondays and Thursdays.
Mondays and Thursdays. And you have to come up with something that would wow people, like, wow, I never thought of it, or this is so true, or this is refreshing, twice a week. Are there mornings that you wake up and think, what do I have to tell them today?
No, it's the night before.
Okay.
But in the morning, I am quite sure of what I'm going to present. But there are times when, as at 10 p.m., the night before, I'm not too sure what I'm going to present the next day. But whatever it is, I would sit up and make sure I have it all figured out and have the script written before I go to bed.
So you write everything?
Yes, everything you hear on air, apart from me teasing the whoever is behind the console, everything is scripted.
But you have to do it twice a week.
Twice a week, yes, and I've been doing that for 17 years.
I say that because I do once a week, and I know how hard it is to come up, because the joy listener is not your ordinary listener. That's the discerning listener.
That's right, yes.
So you can't come and put any substandard thing just to fill out your time. It has to be. 17 years.
Yes.
And are you looking at thinking, well, look, 17 years, I've done enough, for we'll still go?
You know, one of my inspiration has been Caleb in the Bible, who at the age of 80 could go to Joshua and said, when we're younger, God promised that he will give me this mountain. I'm 80 years old, give me the mountain. I think in Ghana, people leave the scene when they are now hitting their prime. You know, I'm 60 years old, and I believe that my insights and perspectives are much sharper, much deeper than they have ever been. My level of understanding of issues and appreciation of our peculiar condition is much sharper than anyone who is now starting out. And I think it is a disservice to the nation when people who have the experience, instead of staying in there and contributing, and inspiring a younger generation, just decided, I'm tired, let me go and sit aside and watch and rather complain. That when we were doing it, that's not how we were doing it, because quite often in Ghana, you'll find that the people moving the agenda in Ghana, setting the agenda in Ghana, are very young people. Very young people. And intelligent as they may be, they cannot appreciate the issues as much as they would 5 years down the line for they themselves. Do you understand me? I don't know of any young person in the media today who 5 years from now, 10 years from now, will not regret some of the things he's saying now. Because life would have given him a much broader and a deeper and truer perspective to the issues. And his views will change.
Okay, but how did you get on Joy FM with Food for Thought? I mean, how did it all happen? Bump into Kwesi Chum at the party?
No, incidentally, Mr. Chum does not want to me to tell this story because he rejected me the first time. Yes, he did. Whoa. What had happened was that I was hosting a program on GBC. Okay. In those days, GBC 2. And one of the guys at GBC I made friends with was Malco Zomelo. Yeah. And Malco kept on telling me about this friend of his who was setting up a private radio station whom he was helping to set up. And one day he said, look, I think Mr. Chum will need somebody like you on this platform. So he arranged for me to meet Mr. Chum. And in those days, Mr. Chum and all the staff they were all operating from one room at the Roverman office. It was a big room. The marketing guys were there and all that, So we walked in. He was behind his desk. He interviewed me, and he wasn't impressed, So it was. But you see, Malco had made me give up the GBC program because he said I could not be on Joy and on GBC at the same time. And so he felt quite under pressure because now what do I do?
I have to get this guy in.
Then, luckily for him, the late Dusty Wayne, who was then the producer of the Super Morning Show, decided that they wanted something to bring a little bit of variety onto the Super Morning Show, which was then being hosted by he himself, Dusty Wayne, and Tommy Annan Forsen. So they wanted somebody who can go right through the whole of Accra, comb through Accra, and bring interesting perspective and stories onto the program. So that's why the original name was Rover Report. Somebody who goes roving around and then he submits a report on the program. And so when Dusty Wayne talked about that, then Zomelo said, I know someone who would do that. So he refers Dusty Wayne to me. Dusty Wayne comes to see me, makes the offer, and says, come and do it. So on a Monday, I drive to Joy and go on air. What I didn't know was that it was really, everybody was on tenterhooks because who is this guy? What does he have to offer? And that kind of thing. Why are you giving him the platform? And things. Then I made
But this time it's not through Kwesi Chum again?
No. It had come through the producer of the Super Morning Show. And when I finished, Dusty Wayne felt so vindicated. So he went around telling everybody, I told you the guy can deliver. I told you the guy can deliver. So that is the beginning of my being on Joy FM.
So with your first presentation, it was like bang.
Yes. Then they knew we've got it.
So at which point again did you meet Kwesi Chum?
Oh, in those days, Mr. Chum was very, very hands-on.
Okay, so even at your first day?
Yes,
okay.
No, that first day he didn't come, but he was hands-on. He would pop in because his office was just a stone throw away. So with time, yes, he began to, especially I'm sure when he began to have feedback from other people, then I think he wanted to see who it is, and that was it.
So, but was it 2 days or that was every day when you started?
No, it was 3 days when I started.
Oh, 3 days.
Yes. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday.
Okay, well, let me deviate a little bit. I just want to find out, we're 2014, and I don't know your mobile number. It's 2014.
Yes.
You know what we have, and and I know you're very technical. You are very up to date.
Yes, I am.
But I don't know your mobile number.
As you can see, I use an iPad. Yes.
A new one and latest one,
That's right. Yes.
But I don't know your mobile number.
Yes.
Well, why is that?
Because I haven't reached the standard of using mobile phones. No, mobile phones are for big men like you, chiefs like you, and things like that.
I'm still not buying.
Who have plenty of land they can sell anytime they want to sell.
What's the principle behind that? There must be a principle.
No principle really. Just that the nature of my work as a creative writer, I need my space. And I decided that if anyone wants to reach me, let him reach me on the landline. So you either get me in the house like you did, or you get me in the office. But in between, I do not want, if I don't want to be reached, I don't want to be reached.
I mean, how do you cope? I mean, in this modern world without staying in touch? I mean, the whole world is now about staying in touch.
No, I stay in touch. I mean, how did we get here? We stayed in touch. Do you understand? We stay in touch. There's that maybe not in the manner that you are accustomed to now. Mm-hmm. But don't forget that the world I grew up in, we stayed in touch without these things. And so for me, it's not a disadvantage at all. For a younger generation who was born into this age, it may be easier. But I'm older than the mobile phone in Ghana. Indeed, I'm older than the mobile phone technology. Do you understand me? So I know I have lived a world when there wasn't the mobile phone. And therefore, I have no difficulty. But what it does mean is that I have to be much more disciplined and with my time and with my planning. Mm-hmm. So that those who need to reach me know exactly where they can reach me and when.
What if something happens in between?
Like something what?
You have a flat tire on your way to a theater.
I'll change it myself.
No, but that's going to add another 10 minutes. So the other end should know you're running 10 minutes late.
No, I wouldn't. I would have factored all that into the trip. And if that happens and I really need to be there in 10 minutes, I'm ready to leave the car and take a taxi and continue the journey. So
you will survive it?
I will survive it. Because look, Nana, even if you call ahead, mm-hmm. you are really not there. So if your presence is what they need, what use is that?
Well, sometimes the information can soothe them. Oh, he's on his way. But
no, everyone who deals with me knows that if the man said he'll be here at 9,
you'll be there.
He'll be there at 9. Don't keep calling him at 8:30 and ask him, where are you? Are you coming? He will be there at 9.
And I can testify for that anyway. Okay, but the other thing is the expectation of your fans. I mean, and I'm one of your fans, and I expect nothing but the best. I don't want excuses that I expect it. You know, without a thought for you, I just sit there, and I'm sure, not me, but the thousands out there always, if it's Uncle Ebo's play, well, it's nothing. It has to be the best.
Yes.
If it's food for thought, look, let me tune in because it has to be the best.
Yes.
I mean, how much pressure is that on you? I don't know if you feel it.
No, I don't. I don't, because I put a much higher expectation on myself. Nana, I think it is time that in Ghana we do away with this notion of false modesty. Mm-hmm. Where you ask somebody, how are you doing? Oh, nkakra. We did small. Mm-hmm. You know, if you know you have been blessed with something that is big, that is awesome, then we expect awesome from you. Mm-hmm. And you must know that I have it in me to produce that. Do you understand me? Nobody benefits from those of us God has raised for this nation playing small. Nobody benefits from that. So I would like to say that I am the best playwright in Ghana and daily work to confirm it. Mm-hmm. I would like to say that God has blessed me with wisdom and with insights So tune in on Monday and Thursday and listen to me. Not, oh, well, you know, we're trying small. So if you have the time, tune in and listen. Maybe you will like it. No. When we do that, the point I want to make is that too many of us set the standard low, and having set the standard low, we still give ourselves permission to fail to meet it. I set the standard high and then push myself to get it consistently, because I believe that God has raised me, He's blessed me for a particular purpose for my generation, and I want to fulfill that destiny. And for that, I am not playing false modesty.
And why should you? I think I buy that. I think I buy that. Now, every play of yours, despite the humor in there, has a message.
Yes.
And very crucial, important message. So, I mean, how would it start? Like, today, this is what I want to inform these people about. And then you factor the humor in, or the humor comes in and says, let me add this message into it.
No. Well, I have said that my real goal is to get people to laugh. If I can get people laughing, then I feel very fulfilled. I have said before that there are two sounds that make my day any day. The sound of people laughing, the sound of voices raised in praise of God. I may not be in that context, but just hearing people, voices raised in praise of God, just does something to me. It's always a joyous sound to me. And then the sound of people laughing. So if I can make people laugh, I feel that it is worth the effort. So how does it begin? I begin first and foremost by being just the storyteller. No expectations, nothing. I am just writing a story. I am telling a story. So I try to meet all the requirements of a good story. I must get characters that are memorable and that are different, so that if there are 10 characters, each of them should have a story of its own. I must have a setting that will be interesting and relevant to the people who will be coming to watch. I must have a plot so that you cannot guess how this play is going to end, this story is going to end, and you must stay glued to the very last minute. I must hold your interest. So those are goals I set myself. I must meet these goals. When that is done, one job is finished, that of the playwright.
Stay tuned. We're going to come back and find out what is next. Now, we've got the plot, we've got the playwright. How does the humor fact come in? I've been to a couple of the plays, and you know what? You will laugh your way through. I was at one play once, significant other and I were not talking. By the end of the play, we were holding hands. That's an admission. I'm coming straight back. So there you see, Uncle Ebo sat in his room just writing and plotting, and it's having an effect on me. As I said before the break, we started the play, we're not talking to each other, and by the end of the play, we had all held hands, forgotten that we had even a disagreement before the play started. So okay, we'll continue, but it works. It worked on me. So.
Yes, no, there are many stories like that. Now, so once I'm done as the playwright, then I wear the hat of the director. And I don't confuse the two roles. Because if you confuse the two roles, then you will not have the courage to even touch the story and say that this side is not working, let me cut. This dialogue is too long, let me cut. This character is not working, kill it. You understand me? Because, so I distance myself from my own work and treat it as if I do not know the author, I do not know the story. Now, as a director of theater, I'm asking myself, does this page work? Does this dialogue work for stage? Does this scene work for stage? If it doesn't, let's change it and make it work for stage. And then, so that then goes on, and then through the interaction with the cast that I'm using, ask them, what other element can we bring in to make this scene more interesting? So that's where sometimes the humor base come in. What can we do? We've got the basic material. What else can we bring in to make it a little bit more interesting? And then to make it more entertaining, because I am about entertainment. And then at that point, every idea comes into play. So when I'm directing a play, and that is the reason why I can produce a play every quarter, I tap into the views, the experience, the comments, the insights of even the least among them. If during our rehearsal, if let's say Sebe, if a Kaya comes in and watches it and makes a comment, I'll work with it. I'm not going to go, who are you? Anyone who walks in, anyone who stays, looks at, oh, this thing, okay, if you did it this way, what about this way? So it's a collaborative thing. Mm-hmm. And the result of it is that you have a product that is far bigger than one person's mind and one person's imagination.
Are you looking at putting some of your plays on screen? Like, screenwriting them?
I've been asked that question. For now, I haven't thought of screen. But if I did, it will not be taking the plays on screen. It will be writing real screenplay for the screen. Because the play, the theater and cinema are two different things. You understand me? So
the whole screenplay.
Yes, the basic story may be there, but if you took a play and put on as a movie, made it as a movie, it will not work that well. Even though in some contexts, particularly in some parts of Ghana where the standards are not that high, you can get away with it. But my focus is not to compete with the standards in Ghana. No. And I do not want anyone to make an excuse for me and say, oh, well, you have to take it like that because it is a Ghanaian production. No. Measure me by the best. And if I don't meet the standard, I am ready to learn from whoever has met the standard. I remember, let me tell you a story. There was an organization that wanted to give me an award for being the best Christian playwright. And I said, I won't take it. Judge me for being the best playwright or not. But don't cut a small category for me and say, oh, this category is for Christian plays. No, I want to be judged by the best. If I don't measure up, I want to learn from whoever is adjudged the best so that we can all rise to the highest level that we can be. Because after all, iron sharpens iron, doesn't it? Yeah. So that is how the play evolves. Everybody, and so everyone who's worked with me knows that your views will be respected, and your views would be considered.
Okay, but one thing you come across to me as a very, very strict person. And so when I watch your plays with so much humor,
yes,
I am unable to see how such a strict person is able to flip side and come up with so much humor.
It's because appearances are deceptive. I am nowhere near what you think I am. Nowhere.
Sure?
I live in a world of laughter.
I see.
I live in a world of laughter at the office, at home, everywhere. I can't function if there's no laughter. I can't. Unfortunately, I have a face that looks as if I'm frowning, when in actual fact, behind the face, I'm laughing. There is always sunshine in my heart.
I see.
No, I can't operate in gloom. So yes, I like discipline. If there is work to be done, let's do the work. But let's have fun doing it. But the fun notwithstanding, that work will not be done shoddily. And we'll meet the target, we'll meet the schedule, but we would also have fun doing it. So if you can meet the schedule If he can meet the target, then we can have fun.
I see.
So, but if you let the fun become the main thing for you, then I'll not be your friend. You can't work with me. So in my office, there's no stress. We laugh, but they know that if your report is supposed to be on my desk by a certain time, it better be there. But you bring it and crack a joke, and we all laugh.
Good. One person I love very much who's close to you is your mother, even though I never met her.
Yes. Yes.
The feisty fishmonger.
Yes, she was. Oh, she was. She was.
The feisty fish.
You know, in her youth, she never fought women. She fought men.
Wow.
Yes. And that legend was known, that reputation was known in both the central market in Kumasi and Asafo market. That Antiama won't fight a woman, but let a man come, she would beat the man up. That's my mother.
But then you were the diametrically opposite.
I was the diametrically opposite to her. I was the timid one. I was the reserved one, and she could not accept the fact that she was the one who had delivered a boy like that. And she made me understand she was not amused by it at all. Because my kid brother was also like her.
I see.
Yes, was outgoing, the life of the party. Even when we were young, you know, the Kumasi, our biggest social event is funeral in Kumasi. I think it still remains the same, even now. And funerals in Kumasi take place on a school football pitch, and the chairs will line the touch line. Yeah, that's right. And then the playing field itself will be bare for people to dance, to make donations and things like that. And whenever there's nobody in the middle of the pit, my brother will go there and dance. And my mother will be so excited, you know, because that's my son, that's my son. And then, but where is Governor? Governor is hiding. And she could not accept that.
So, did you ever grow out of that, or?
No, I never did.
Never did.
I never did. The good thing, initially, it rather made me hostile to my brother. You know, and I think that remained the case till I was 14, thereabout. I was 14. He was 11, because I'm 3 years older than he is. And at that time, for some strange reason, I woke up one day and said, you know what? He's my brother. I don't need to compete with him. Let me celebrate him. He has skills I don't have. He has a personality that I admire, but I don't have. That's not me. That's him. So let me celebrate him. And that's what I did. And from that point on, my relationship with him became extremely close and very, very cordial. It remains so to now.
What does he do now? Now that you are in the stage in the limelight?
Well, he's in the U.S. He's the economic in the family, so he's in the U.S.
But I bet he's not in the forefront now as you are, whatever profession he chose.
No, he's not.
So now you are at the center of the funeral with your plays, and you know, and he's going. So you switch roles somehow.
No, we didn't switch roles. I think, Nana, and there's an important lesson there, that when you come to accept who you are, because God does not make a mistake.
No.
When you stop comparing yourself with other people, when you stop trying to live somebody else's life, and you live the life that has been given to you, you would emerge at the top. Or even if you don't get to the top, you will live a very fulfilling life. The problem with too many people is that they don't like the life that they've been given to live, and they want to live somebody else's life. So you have people who say, oh, you know, I love it when I see people singing. So me too, I will sing. You've not been blessed with a good voice. So, or at best, you've been blessed with an average voice. So you try to go there, all you would have will be frustration. Maybe instead of singing, you have another calling behind the console or something. So it is important for all of us to seek to know who am I? What makes me come alive? Not what do I admire in other people. I admire musicians. I admire musicians. I think that when I get to heaven, one of the questions I'll ask God is why he didn't give me a good voice. But the point is that I can only sing to my enemies because it's the only punishment.
You can give
yes,
them.
it's the worst punishment I can think of giving to them. So you don't chase what it is you admire. Celebrate it in other people. But you've been given something. Work with that. And in that, seek to become the best you can be. Develop a passion in the area in which you've been equipped. And then move in that. And you never know where it will take you. And that is what I decided to do. My brother is my brother. Let him be. I will celebrate him. Even though when we were growing up, it was interesting. I would bring a girl home, introduce him to Kweku. That's his name. The next time the girl comes to the house, I'm so excited because the girl is coming to visit. So I ran to welcome the girl, only for the girl to say, "Oh, the binya ho na mba me unia no ho." I didn't come to you. I came to your brother. But that was his gift. And I rejoice in that. So at a certain point in my life, if you met me in town and you said, "Oh, you are good," I said, "Wait till you see my brother." I celebrated him.
Okay, but at one of your plays, I was sat next to this woman, right? And we both laughed and laughed and laughed. It wasn't at the end of the play that I was told that, "Oh, that's Mrs. White." I said, "Really?"
Oh, you sat by her and you didn't know?
No, I didn't know her.
Okay.
And we were both laughing and laughing, and it was scene after scene. We were
That's right.
cracking up and cracking up.
Yes.
So it was right at the end that I was told that, that's Uncle Ebo's wife. I was asking, but hasn't she seen the play before? Hasn't she seen the play before? I mean, and it wasn't like she was just laughing. I mean, she was genuinely,
yes,
amused at what was going on. And I was finding, how do you manage to impress your wife that much?
By being genuine and sincere.
Before stay tuned, we'll find out how can a man impress his wife that much. Stay tuned. Well, welcome back. And as I said, I'm talking to the now loudmouth of South Suntreso, Uncle Ebo White. Don't we all love him dearly? But Uncle Ebo, going back to how you're able to impress your wife, that much.
Yes.
I was shocked.
I think it begins by having a good relationship with her, with your wife. Because if you live one thing at home and you are one thing in public, it will irritate your wife. The way she knows me in the house is the way she hears of me outside. Do you understand me? So I'm not living two lives. That's number one. Number two, she also knows that I do what is right by her. Do you understand me? I cherish her, I honor her, I value her. And therefore, she coming into my world and immersing herself in my world poses no threat whatsoever to her. As against a situation where if we were living like enemies at home, you understand me, then of course she would not even be keen enough to come into my world. Or she will come with a certain level of pain and bitterness, and that would have manifested as well in public. But that does not exist at all. Florence has been my biggest critic. After everybody has said anything, I want to hear what she thinks of the show. And until she's spoken, I haven't had feedback. Do you understand me? Until she's spoken to the thing. And when she watches it and says, "This is good," I know it is good. Or she may say, "I didn't like this scene," then I know I have work to do. Or she may go like, "Look, is this what you want to say?" Then I go, "No." I said, "But that's what your play is saying." Because, and then she'll quote, "This scene, that scene, that scene says this." So that is what happens. Yeah, she watches every show every every day. So we do 9 shows a quarter. Yeah, so she would watch each of the 9 shows.
I see.
And enjoy it every time. And then, in addition to that, her contribution to my shows is that she does the catering for the cast and crew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can be sure that, and the interesting thing is that she gives them the same food she gives me. Do you understand me? So when there's a production, I eat from what she serves the cast and crew. So I can be sure that my cast and crew are getting the best possible nutrition for the production.
That's good. Okay, but there are lots of people, including me, that will stop you in the corridor every day because I need to seek your opinion whether I'm going right or going wrong. And I'm sure I'm one out of a million who do that. How do you factor all these people, including myself, into your daily schedule, knowing that I have to handle his issue, he has an issue, he has an issue? And even on Thursday, I saw one of our staff, Connor, you want to have a discussion. How do you factor all that?
Sometimes when you walk into a shop in Ghana, the sales attendants give you the impression that you are an interruption. Have you had that?
Yeah.
You walk, either she's on the phone or she's polishing, and you coming to do business in the shop, she gives you the impression that you are an interruption. And it's because she doesn't understand why she's there. That's why she doesn't understand that you are the reason why she's in the shop. I understand that I've been given a certain grace. And the grace was not given to me to serve myself, but to serve others. Do you understand me? And therefore, people coming to me is an honor and a privilege for me. And that's how I see it. They honor me by taking me into their confidence. They honor me by making me a part of their life, of their journey. It's an honor. How many people would they walk to? Do you understand me? I mean, Nana, how many people would you walk to and say, I need you to listen to this program, and at the end of it, I want your opinion of it, Or how many people do you talk to and say, I'm going to talk about this issue. I need your perspective on the matter. So the people you pick to do that, they must feel honored. So because I have that sense of privilege and honor, when these people come to me, it's not a burden. So I am ready to rearrange my day around however much time I would have given another person. You understand me? Because it's a joy. Because Nana, it's all about human beings. That's why we are here. Whatever you do for yourself will be forgotten. And that's what Ghanaians don't know. Put up houses for yourself, factories for yourself, lay up huge bank balance for yourself. It will be forgotten when you are gone. But whatever you do for others and for society and the community, that will not be forgotten. It will outlive you and will become a monument to the fact that you, when you came here, you served your generation. And I wish more Ghanaians will have that kind of mindset, that it's a privilege to serve, it's an honor to serve, and that whatever we do for other people is what matters, not what I do for myself. And so, for me, when people call, or when they come to the office, or when they stop me at Joy, or when they stop me in the washroom, sometimes it happens, Last Saturday, we went to perform in a church, and at a certain point, I made a quick dash to pee. When I came out, there was a lady with a baby standing at the entrance to the pee and said, I saw you going in, and so I came out to wait for you here. And it's an honor, and so I spoke briefly with her, blessed her child, and then we all went back into the hall.
That just leads me to my next question, because in all most of your, especially food for thought, there's a lot of religious and Bible quotations clearly depicting that you're a Christian.
Yeah.
Do you like a regular church-going Christian, or you are a more way of life Christian?
I believe in spirituality, not in religion.
Good.
Do you understand me? Religion is very easy.
Yeah.
And religion is very defective because it's a human thing. I believe in spirituality. Nana, I believe that if we all live our lives with a consciousness that God is watching me, God's eyes are on me, not my pastor's eyes are on me, but God's eyes are on me, we will do far better. And that's spirituality. Religion takes you into a system, and that system could even take you away from God. A lot of what manifests as religion is nothing more than power play. Do you understand me? So I am not that huge a believer in religion. But I believe that every human being should develop a spirituality. That consciousness that I am a spiritual being. God's eyes upon me. And God, when he created me, whispered certain things to my spirit, put certain destiny upon my life for the sake of my generation, of the community, and I must be faithful, be found faithful doing that. So ask me about my walk with God, don't ask me about church.
That's good. Walk with God, but not church. Aklebo, you're playing your part for society and your nation as a whole. Every Monday and Thursday, you bring something that is definitely telling whoever is listening that, listen, make yourself and your nation a better place.
Yes.
However,
because you can.
Because you can.
That's the basis.
That's okay. Okay.
Because we can. You know, and you're familiar with that statement that never underestimate the fact that a few people, a few good people, is all it takes to change the world. Just a few.
I just want to find out how frustrated you are when, you know, you look at the country Ghana and the whole proverbial story of blessed and endowed with everything.
Yes.
Yet, year in, year out, we retrogress.
We are, yeah.
I mean, how frustrating is it for you? Are you able to just, you know, like switch off, or do you?
No, it's not frustrating at all, because I understand that it is part of our evolution as a nation. I mean, how old is Ghana? I'm older than Ghana. You understand me? How old is Ghana? And where were those nations we respect now when they were in their 50s? When they were in their 60s? Do you understand me? We are going through an evolution. And I pray earnestly that nobody would make the mistake of trying to tamper with the evolution. We'll make our mistakes. We'll have leaders who don't have a clue, but they also have a part to play. Let them play their part. We'll have leaders who are selfish. Fine. We'll have leaders who are even thieves and who are friends of criminals. They will come and go. This nation will keep evolving. Will keep evolving. But let us all live in the hope for the day when we have a leader who will sacrifice anything for the good of Ghana. Sacrifice party, sacrifice a second term in office, sacrifice every friend, just because he wants to leave office with a mark and be able to say, look back and say, when I became president, I changed Ghana. I changed the way Ghanaians thought. I changed the way they worked. I changed how they lived. I changed how they conducted themselves. I changed it, because whoever comes to change those things will be so unpopular. Nana, he will be so unpopular, it will not be funny. He will not win a second time. Or he might. When people see, oh my goodness, look at what he's done with us and for us. He may.
I'm with the firm. I think he won't. I think we are so
no, you never know.
We are so stuck.
No, you never know.
We're scared of change.
No, we are, but we need someone who comes in and says, I'm going to make you change anyway. Damn the consequences. and hold the office of the president so lightly that he doesn't mind saying, you know, I've done what I want to do. Yeah, okay. I'm moving. That person will call back, would bring back, you know, and but that day will come. That leader will come. For now, this issue of continuous, and one of your presentations, which I like, we never cease campaigning in Ghana. You know, there's no point where we cease from MPP, NDC to become Ghanaians. There's no point when a government in power ceases to be belonging to a party and begin to say that I am for the whole nation. You voted for me, you didn't vote for me, but it was all part of the process. So you are no special to me than him, because you are both Ghanaians. So whatever I need to do for you, I'm going to do for you. I'm going to raise the level of Ghana so that party member, non-party member, you all benefit from it. We make a mistake when we think that we've come to power, let's do our people good. In the end, we don't do anybody good. But if we came to power and said, we now have power, let's lift the standard in Ghana. Do you understand me? So let's lift the level of health provision in Ghana. It benefits everybody. Let's raise the standard of public education in Ghana so that the public a student who went to the public school can stand and match the best of the private schools, so that there's a reverse of everybody sending his child to the private schools back to the public schools. Everybody benefits because the fees will be lower, wouldn't they? Everybody benefits. Let us improve the road system. Everybody benefits. Let us, and my dream, let us put railway line between Achimota and Accra Central that runs every hour. No, we can do this. Let's put another one from Nungwa to Accra Central. That runs so that you can time it. When that happens, would it benefit only NDC or MPP? It benefits everybody here. Businesses will grow. Our social lives will be transformed and things like that. So it is a narrow consideration when you come and you say that we have one power.
Let's look after our people.
Let's look after our people. No, we've won power. That was campaigning. It's done. Now we have power. Let's all come as Ghanaians. And let's see what we can do for ourselves and our nation so that anybody, no matter what his political background, can benefit from the fruits of Ghana. Because you see, it is when you win power, it is not only the members of your party who pay taxes. Do you understand me? But this is a phase. I
see. Okay, but you are in touch with a lot of youth.
Yes.
What is your impression of the new generation of youth coming up?
There are two kinds of youth in Ghana. There's a youth who don't get it. They don't even understand the wonderful opportunities they have. They don't care. Do you understand me? They wake up in the morning, nothing really matters. They have no focus. That youth is there. He is thinking, living for today, my next meal, my next chick, my next sexual encounter, my next party, my next dress. That's what he's living for. That youth is there. Then there is a youth who is so focused, you'll be amazed. There are young people who can tell you exactly what they want to be in 5 years and know what steps they need to take to get there. Or if they don't know, they are seeking and they want to learn. So those two youths are here, and it's wonderful. What I'm hoping would happen is that the second group, the focus group, will realize their potential and become the salvation of the others.
Okay, before I end up, what do you want to be remembered for, Uncle Ebo? Before I will end my show, what do you want to be remembered for?
someone who believed in people and brought out the best in people.
Thank you very much. Folks, that was Uncle Ebo White. I told you, he will always baffle me. He does not cease to amaze me, and is one of the few people that I look up to. Uncle Ebo, thank you.
Thank you, Nana.
So much.
Nana.
Folks, until I come back next Friday with a different personality, thank you very much for watching. Have a beautiful weekend and stay healthy.